Community organization. Part 1. Community. Concept. A community is a group of people who share common characteristics, interests, or a sense of belonging. This connection may be based on geographical location, shared values, culture, identity, or social interactions. Communities provide a framework for mutual support, collaboration, and collective well-being. Definitions of community. Sociological definition. A community is a social group with common territorial boundaries, values, and institutions, engaging in social interactions. McIver and Page. Geographical definition. A community is a group of individuals residing in a specific geographical area and sharing resources, culture, and interactions. Psychological definition. A community is a group where members develop a sense of belonging, identity, and shared responsibility. Online/digital definition. A virtual community consists of individuals who interact and form relationships through digital platforms. Dimensions of community. Geographical dimension, defined by physical space, such as villages, towns, and cities. Social dimension, defined by shared values, norms, traditions, and relationships. Cultural dimension, based on common language, customs, beliefs, and heritage. Economic dimension, related to shared economic activities, businesses, and industries. Political dimension, centered around governance, leadership, and collective decision-making. Virtual/technological dimension, formed through digital interactions, such as online communities and social networks. Scope of community. The scope of community extends across various aspects of life and society, including local communities, small-scale groups such as neighborhoods and villages. National communities, people within a country sharing common laws and governance. Global communities, international networks formed through globalization and digital interactions. Professional communities, groups based on careers, industries, and academic fields. Interest-based communities, groups formed around hobbies, beliefs, and activities. Online communities, digital spaces where people connect through social media, forums, and virtual platforms. History of community organization in India, UK, and USA. Community organization has played a crucial role in social development across different nations. While the approaches vary based on historical, cultural, and political contexts, each country has had significant movements shaping its community structures. 1. Community organization in India. Ancient and medieval period, before 18th century. Village panchayats. The earliest form of community organization in India was the self-sufficient village panchayat system, which handled social, economic, and administrative matters. Religious and charitable institutions, temples, mosques, gurudwaras, and monasteries played a crucial role in organizing communities for welfare, education, and health services. Guilds and caste-based associations. These regulated economic activities, trade, and social welfare. Colonial period, 18th to 20th century. British influence. The British administration introduced Western models of community organization, weakening traditional structures like panchayats. Social reform movements. Thinkers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy, Jyotirao Phule, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar organized communities to fight against caste discrimination, child marriage, and for women's rights. Freedom struggle. Leaders like Mahatma Gandhi mobilized communities for Swaraj, self-rule, emphasizing rural self-sufficiency through initiatives like the Khadi movement and Gram Swaraj. Post-independence period, 1947, present. Community Development Program, 1952. The Indian government introduced organized rural development programs, emphasizing health, education, and employment. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs. Many NGOs emerged, focusing on issues like poverty, health, women's empowerment, and environmental sustainability. Self-help groups, SHGs, and microfinance, programs like SUA, Self-Employed Women's Association, empower women through economic activities. Urban community organization, focus on slum development, housing schemes, and welfare services in cities. 2. Community organization in the United Kingdom, UK. Early history, pre-19th century. Medieval guilds. These were the earliest form of organized community groups, ensuring social security for members. Parish system. The Poor Law Act, 1601, established parishes as key units of community welfare, helping the needy through local taxation. Industrial Revolution, 18th to 19th century. Rapid urbanization led to slum development, poverty, and worker exploitation, necessitating new community interventions. Philanthropic movements. Organizations like the Salvation Army, 1865, and Toynbee Hall, 1884, focused on poverty relief. Trade unions. Workers organized for better wages, working conditions, and social security. 20th century, the welfare state. Beveridge Report, 1942, proposed the foundation of the National Health Service, NHS, and expanded social welfare. Labor movements and social housing. The government implemented community housing schemes, education reforms, and employment programs. Community action in the 1960s-70s, rise of local activism, particularly in housing, education, and race relations. Modern developments, 21st century. Big Society Initiative, 2010s. A government initiative encouraging volunteerism and local decision-making. Focus on integration and inclusion, addressing multiculturalism, refugee settlements, and digital inclusion. 3. Community organization in the United States, USA. Early period, pre-19th century. Religious and voluntary groups. Churches played a key role in social organization, education, and charity. Settlement and local governance, town hall meetings and community decision-making were central to early American society. Progressive era, late 19th, early 20th century. Settlement house movement, led by Jane Addams, Hull House, 1889, in Chicago, focused on social services for immigrants and the poor. Labor and civil rights movements, unions like the AFL, American Federation of Labor, organized workers' rights. Great Depression and New Deal, 1930s. Federal government interventions, programs like the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, and Works Progress Administration, WPA, provided jobs and infrastructure development. Rise of social work, professionalization of community work and expansion of welfare programs. Post-World War II era and Civil Rights Movement, 1950s-70s. Community action programs, CAPs, under Lyndon B. Johnson's War on Poverty, 1964, focused on empowering marginalized groups. Civil rights activism, figures like Martin Luther King Jr. led mass mobilization efforts for racial equality. Recent developments, 21st century. Digital communities and social movements, online platforms like Black Lives Matter, BLM, and climate change activism have expanded community engagement. Community development organizations focus on urban renewal, affordable housing, and local entrepreneurship. Role of community organization. Community organization plays a crucial role in addressing social, economic, and political challenges by mobilizing people and resources. It strengthens collective action and fosters development. Key roles of community organization. Empowerment and participation. Encourages people to actively participate in decision-making. Helps marginalized groups voice their concerns and take collective action. Social change and advocacy. Addresses social inequalities such as poverty, discrimination, and injustice. Advocates for policy changes and rights-based approaches. Capacity building and skill development. Provides training and education to enhance skills in leadership, employment, and governance. Encourages self-sufficiency through microfinance, entrepreneurship, and vocational programs. Resource mobilization and service delivery. Organizes resources for community welfare, such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Strengthens local institutions and NGOs to provide social services. Conflict resolution and social harmony. Promotes dialogue and understanding among diverse groups. Addresses communal tensions, gender issues, and other societal conflicts. Disaster response and environmental sustainability. Helps in disaster relief, rehabilitation, and rebuilding efforts. Promotes sustainable practices and environmental conservation. Steps of community organization. Community organization follows a structured process to ensure effective mobilization and intervention. The key steps are: 1. Identifying the issue/needs assessment. Understanding community problems, needs, and strengths. Conducting surveys, interviews, and meetings. 2. Entry into the community and building relationships. Establishing trust and rapport with community members. Engaging key leaders, influencers, and stakeholders. 3. Formation of groups/community mobilization. Encouraging people to come together based on common interests. Forming committees, self-help groups, SHGs, or associations. 4. Setting objectives and planning. Defining clear, realistic, and measurable goals. Creating an action plan based on available resources. 5. Resource mobilization and capacity building. Identifying financial, human, and material resources. Providing training, education, and skill development. 6. Implementation of community programs. Executing activities like awareness campaigns, policy advocacy, and welfare programs. Encouraging active community participation. 7. Monitoring and evaluation. Assessing the impact and effectiveness of the initiative. Making improvements based on feedback and challenges. 8. Sustainability and institutionalization. Ensuring long-term impact by linking initiatives to local governance, NGOs, and policies. Encouraging community leadership and self-sufficiency.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in next video.